So guys, Canelo Alvarez beats Daniel Jacobs in a very good fight, in a very a fight, a lot of people said of two halves. Danny Jacobs did very well towards the back end of the fight. I thought Canelo was ahead, in the first half of the fight. Canelo definitely looked the better fighter and looked the stronger man in the first half of the fight. Daniel Jacobs definitely came on in the second half. He did a lot better. Danny Jacobs is a great fighter. He deserves a lot of respect. But I think the right man won in the end. I think Canelo, even towards the end, he probably won the last round and even the second last. Carl Froch had the fight a draw from Sky Sports, but Dave Caldwell had Canelo winning, and majority of the people, had Canelo winning the fight. I was quite surprised that Manuel Marquez had Jacobs by a round. I didn't really see the fight. A lot of these fights, when it's high level and elite level guys, it's what you like. But really, for me, Canelo was a clear winner. There was no controversy. There was nothing. I think Golovkin's fight were a lot closer. However, I do think Canelo beat Daniel Jacobs, and I think, to be honest, for me, it was probably I think the 116-112 card was fair, in my opinion. I don't, to say it was wide, or I actually think that was a fair scorecard. You could definitely make a case for that. I think two of the judges had it 115-113, which again, you could say is fair, but I personally saw it more 116-112. I think Canelo was the clear winner for me. I am a Canelo fan, so maybe there's a little bias, but I generally do think, and I think a lot of people would probably share the same vision, that Canelo was the rightful winner. Jacobs is a good fighter. He came in and gave it his all. He definitely had a put in a great performance, but I just think Canelo was landing the cleaner shots. I think Canelo landed the meaningful punches. Jacobs landed a massive left hand in the 9th round. And it didn't even tittle Canelo. I did think the only chance that Jacobs would have would be knocking Canelo out, and that's what it was. A lot of people thought the rehydration, would affect Jacobs. Jacobs put in a good performance, but I do think Canelo was the rightful winner. I actually think that the fact that Jacobs rehydrated properly, went to 173 pounds, was probably good for him. And to be honest, he didn't show any sign of slowing down. Jacobs was he was sturdy, was tough all the way through the fight. I thought Canelo might stop him late, but Jacobs showed good stamina. He showed good grit, good determination, and he showed good boxing skills. Unfortunately for me, Canelo had the better boxing skills. Canelo had even more grit, and he was probably a little bit more determined. And I think Canelo overall is probably the better fighter. Jacobs is obviously a very good fighter. I just think Canelo is special right now. Canelo's 28 years of age. Look at the guys that this guy's fought and beat. A lot of people say, oh, controversy, Lara beat him. Like, listen, Canelo's beat these guys. And the thing is with Canelo, a lot of people say, well, yeah, he lost that one. Thing is, Canelo takes on all the tough challenges. So when you're fighting the elite competition and taking on all the tough challenges, you're not always going to look great because the other guy's coming to win and he's very skilled as well. Canelo wasn't going to have his own way, against Daniel Jacobs. Daniel Jacobs is a great fighter and he's coming to win, So you can't expect Canelo to just blow Jacobs out the water. That's not going to happen. But what you have to say is that Canelo definitely came and gave his all, and so did Jacobs. But if you're being honest, and and I think a lot of people give Canelo a lot of stick because of the fact that, that clenbuterol and the failed drugs test. People want to see Canelo lose because of the fact that they think he cheated. And I think that's why a lot of people, when you see them scoring a fight, always tend to give Canelo not a fair shake because of the fact that they're trying to root against him because he's of his history. And I think that's wrong, because I think you should get a fair shake. He's done his time and he's come back, and he's a great fighter. So give him his respect. His name has been tainted with that failed drugs test. I don't think anybody believes the dodgy meat story. I think they feel that he genuinely cheated, and that's why Canelo gets a lot of stick. But I think as a fighter, Canelo's exceptional. He's just a great talent, and I think you have to give, in my opinion, Canelo a lot of respect. A lot of respect for what he's achieved in the game. You know, at 28, the guy's had 55 fights. You know, look at the names that he's beaten: Jacobs, Khan, Cotto, Mosley, you know, Trout. You know, it just goes on and on and on. You know, his list goes on. He's just fought the best after the best after the best. You know, and his career continues to blossom. So you have to give Canelo a lot of respect. And this is why I have Canelo as pound for pound the best fighter in the world. Because the thing is with Canelo, if you look at all the other guys that they have pound for pound, Terence Crawford, Lomachenko, maybe Errol Spence, maybe Alexander Usyk. Usyk has a good resume. He cleaned up his division. But Canelo's resume is filled with killers. It's filled with a lot of great fighters. He's got Hall of Famers on his resume. You know, even the loss against Mayweather, and I don't give anyone respect for losing a fight, but, you know, he still fought probably one of the greatest fighters of all time, right? And, you know, his resume is brilliant. His resume is on another level. I actually think you can't say that, you know, the fights that even many people thought, well, you know, even Golovkin, I mentioned Golovkin's name on his resume. That's another fight. Yeah, the two fights were close, controversial, but nevertheless, he got the decision on one and the judges thought it was a draw on one, you know. So I actually thought the results were fair. I thought Canelo won the second one and the first one was a draw. That I generally thought that, you know. So I think Canelo doesn't get a fair shake, if I'm honest with you. He's a great fighter. He won that fight, in my opinion. No, I wouldn't say dominate. He never dominated the action, but he definitely was the clear winner in my eyes. I thought he did the better work. He was the better fighter overall. He definitely early on in the fight was way ahead in the fight, and then Jacobs came back. Probably, you know, I would say after 7, right? You'd probably say, you know, DAZN had it 5-2 up, and I would probably say the same. And Canelo in the last 5 rounds, you'd have to give Canelo at least, you'd say at least 2 rounds of them, you know. So yeah, so 115, 113, you could have it that. You could also have it it depends on what you like I said. But I think irrespective of what you like, I think Canelo probably was the winner on most people's card. Again, I'll say again, who is there for Canelo to go on to fight? I think Jacobs can come back again. I think these 3 are the best 3 middleweights in the world: Jacobs, Canelo, and Golovkin. I think Andrade's obviously got, you know, the last piece of the jigsaw. And listen, Canelo can go on to become undisputed middleweight champion now, because I think we'll all pick him to beat Andrade, right? Although Andrade is a slick southpaw, so that's not an easy fight for Canelo, and he's big as well. But I would favour Canelo massively in that fight. So Canelo has a great opportunity to go and become the undisputed middleweight champion, you know. So that would be some achievement with what he's achieved already in his career. You would favour him now to be, I think most people would have probably saw Jacobs as the tougher test to stopping Canelo becoming the undisputed champion. I think what we can say now is no one's going to stop that Canelo Andrade fight from happening, because that's for the undisputed, and Andrade is going to want to fight that. Canelo's going to want to fight for the undisputed title, and in my opinion, Canelo beats Andrade and becomes the undisputed champion at middleweight, which would be some achievement from a guy that's, you know, not even started off as a middleweight. You know, Jacobs, Golovkin, these are proper middleweights that have been at middleweight all their career. Whereas Canelo has moved up. You know, he was really under 154 pounder that's moved up to middleweight. So, you know, Canelo's a great fighter. I think he'll become the undisputed middleweight champion. And like I said, he'll write another straw in his great legacy already. If he beats Andrade to become, you know, you'd have to say he's one of the greatest Mexican fighters of all time. And I think by the time he finishes his career, he may just be the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, maybe even surpass the great Julio Cesar Chavez. But like I said, I think he won the fight tonight or this morning here in the UK. I think Canelo was brilliant, and I think, you know, people need to give this guy a lot of respect. Look at the fights that he gives the fans time and time again. He fights the best time and time again, and I think he deserves a lot of credit. You know, he's a special talent, a special fighter, and in my opinion, already a Hall of Famer, one of the greats already. You know, he's had a great career already. If he was to retire today, you'd say he's one of the greats of what, you know, with who he's fought and beat. And the scary thing is that this guy seems like he's still got a long time left in the game. He's still got so many big fights left. You know, he's only 28. You'd probably say he's hitting his peak. So he's got so much left, you know, to offer still. So it's going to be scary what Canelo may go on to achieve. This guy might have, by the end of his career, what, 70 fights? Who knows? Who knows? Because he definitely looks like he definitely has another 10, 15 fights in him. You know, Canelo fights. But having said that, Canelo only fights twice a year. So he's probably not going to be able to get to about 70 fights. But who knows? 70 fights, that would be another, if he fights 2 a year, that's another 8 years. Would Canelo go on another year, 8 years to 36? Possibly. But only time will tell. But great performance by Canelo. I think he was a deserved winner tonight. Who do you want to see? Do you want to see Canelo become the undisputed champion fighting Andrade? Do you think Andrade can cause Canelo any trouble and stop him from becoming the undisputed champion? Leave your thoughts, guys, in the comment section below. But Canelo Alvarez wins a unanimous decision over Danny Jacobs. What did you make of the fight? How did you see it? Did you have Canelo winning? Did you think the fight was closer? Did you have Jacobs winning? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.